What's up, guys? We're gonna brobeatz. I'm gonna show you guys how to make some dark soul melodies. With that being said, let's go ahead and hop into the video. So first up, we have our bell. All right, and I just marked the sound so you know what type of sound to use. So if you don't have the same instruments that I have, then you can just kind of insert what you have. So 140 BPM. We're gonna grab in a scale, and we're gonna run with a. You could do a D sharp minor, just in case we want to make an outro. And the reason I'm choosing somewhere like around the D sharp is because if you add a 808 or bass, it'll be low enough to where you get that low thump, but not too high to where it'll sound super, high pitched. Let's go in here and let's make this first part simple. Okay, where should we start? On our root here, and this is very simple. We're just gonna do a fifth. So you can come up here to stamps and do a fifth. If you watch my videos, you should know this already, right? And we're just gonna copy the fifth up twice, just like so. Okay, and this is a perfect way to get like some nice starters going. Do something like, wait, and there we go. All right, and then we could just literally copy this over the whole way. Right now, just repeat the whole time, and then we'll add effects later. So this isn't so harsh, but as long as we have the bare notes down, we are good to go. So let's go ahead and move on to our next sound. The next sound we have is our strings. This is the preset crying mandolins from the 𝗏𝗏𝗡𝗙𝗏𝗏. Okay, you can use any strings, it doesn't matter. So for this one, if you want to keep it dark, you want to kind of use these little tension areas or these little half steps here, right? But if you want to go outside of that, you can. I'm gonna stick to this because I want to make something dark. So typically right here for every bar is usually where you'd start for like your counter melodies. So you can try either spot. We just want a real bare bones simple thing here. Okay, and just keep in mind of effects. So like when I'm putting down these notes, I'm thinking of like, okay, what effects would I want? So I would probably add like reverb or something like that on this to make it very ambient and fill out that empty space. And I'm gonna just copy this over because this sound can get annoying if it plays over and over again. So just make these a little bit longer. So we don't want it to play too much. So we're gonna spread it out. All right, so those are our strings. Let's move on to our key. Next up, we have our closer preset. So it's like a key and a bell. Okay, so let's go in here and you can just take note of the sounds you already use. So typically with simple stuff like this, when you build it up, you're pretty much gonna be using the same like range. So you're gonna be using all these notes. And then if you copy it up, it's all gonna be the same, right? So we're just gonna kind of take from that and just kind of find a place where we're gonna put it first. So I kind of wanted to burst into here. Let's see. Let's change this. I kind of want that to be a little bit sharper. Let's hold Alt, shrink it down, and I'm gonna just pull it in like that. Just a little quicker. And then we're gonna copy this over, try to get in the right spots. Like so, and we're gonna copy it over again and just change it up slightly. So we're just gonna pull these down because we still want it to be dark. So I want it to at least end on these little tension areas. Let's shift D it. All right, so now when we add delay, we should add like a 300 millisecond delay, and it should like have like this sparkling kind of effect, right? So I think that'll sound good. Next, we're gonna do our piano. Next up, we have our piano. So this is the Lab soft piano. So I just click this button and I turn the reverb all the way up. So what we're gonna do is just make our melody here using the same notes. So let's go back in here and just kind of throw something down. So I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna go down 7, so we get a fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. and then you could just drag it over. Actually, we can keep it right there, and then we can pull this down and just build a melody like that. See what that sounds like. And then let's pull these over. Kind of want the same rhythm. Just to keep it real dark, so I'm gonna take this over, pull it up an octave. We can copy this whole thing over. And then of course I'm gonna have to adjust it so it's not leaking over here. Let's move this back. All right, let's see what that sounds like. Okay, I like the way that kind of melts together. So again, we need to add effects because this is a dry melody. But what we're gonna do is just add our bass, and if we have time, we'll add the vocal because I think this video is a little bit too long, but I don't know. So we'll add the bass. Now we're on to our bass. So this is the bass I'm using right here. Okay, so it's pretty simple. We're just going to use our root, and again, you can kind of use the same notes or any notes in between. You can just use your ear. You don't have to necessarily follow this because this is pretty basic, so you can kind of go outside of it if you need to. So let's just start, and we can put this real simple. And then we could just finish it like that. So I'm gonna pull these up though. Okay, I like that, and we probably don't even need to add like any effects. I kind of like the way it sounds, but I think we could just go ahead and add our vocal. I'll keep it very brief, and then we'll get into the effects. Next up, we have arcade. So we have the jukebox vocals. So these are kind of like more soulful, stuff like that. So I went ahead and put it in the key, and then we can go ahead and just throw some stuff down. If I take too long, I'll speed it up, but it shouldn't take that long because I already kind of know which ones I liked. We'll definitely add some like delay on that. And he'll never know. I kind of like it, and that should leak over to the next part too. Let's see. So let's play it. Okay, I think that's good enough. So now what we're gonna do is finish this up and go ahead and add the post effects. Now we're gonna go over some of the effects. So first we're gonna start with our bell, and I'll just turn everything off as we go. So dry, and then we have RC20, and then a reverse effects using this plugin. It just, I like to use this one because it doesn't have that much delay. All right, and then on top an EQ, and this is just kind of like a bell-shaped EQ just to kind of cut out the highs and lows. And if you want to see the frequencies, I'll zoom in. There you go. All All right, so that's the bell, and that's like the main part. Like everything else is kind of like reverb and stuff. So for the strings, I'll just kind of show you the preset and what it sounds like on. All right, very ambient. And then for the key, super massive. All right, just putting it in space. Don't want to do too much. You just want the main sounds to be have the most effects, and then just kind of let these kind of go off to the side. I'll even spread these out. And then for the piano, now this one, the EQ didn't do too much. If I play it solo, it doesn't really do much, but I just kind of did that so everything else can have a little place to shine. And then a delay. Probably even push it a little bit further, just so it's like underwater. And then our bass, dry. And then for the arcade or the vocal, we have this little EQ. So this is like a little custom one that I like to use. And if you pull this down or up, you can kind of shave off what you need. And you can kind of do it on both sides. So this is pretty useful. So let me make sure it's on. All right, and you can kind of give it that underwater effect. Wait for it to play. Pretty simple. And then of course you just heard with the delay and stuff. Okay, so you can copy this preset if you need. So yeah, that is everything. And then on top, I just added this lifeline console just for like that dusty effect. You can use RC20, whatever. I just like using this one because it looks cool. So yeah. All right, and that's gonna be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.